The content in this magazine could contain references of topics and difficult subject matter that may be triggering. Please honor yourself, inner knowing, and proceed with whatever help or guidance you feel is intuitively aligned. Welcome to Sovereign Magazine Podcast. I'm Nicole George, CEO and founder of Sovereign. I'm so happy you are here. We are the magazine, podcast, and community guiding 5 million women to their sovereign selves. From heart-led conversations to magical meditations, our inspiring guests will show you how they can help you step into your sovereign self. Are you ready to listen to your inner voice and step into your power? Then keep listening to hear all of the intuitive messages meant for you today. Hello. Today I have the privilege of reconnecting with Patricia Wald Hopkins, Sovereign Magazine's multidimensional wealth consciousness columnist. She is a multidimensional guide, Akashic wisdom keeper, and the founder of the Voices of Gaia project. Blending her background in environmental science, feminine leadership, and energy medicine, she supports the rise of New Earth leaders from frameworks like the White Lioness Mystery School and the Infinite Self Oracle. She is a Gene Keys ambassador, Kundalini yoga teacher, and the alchemist of beauty and truth. She transmits her light codes through writing, her voice, and ritual to awaken remembrance and restore harmony with Gaia. Welcome back, Patricia.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, so today we are exploring Seeking Material Things, which is our May new moon issue. And in your article, The Art of True Wealth, Returning to Love as the Source, you reveal how wealth is often mistaken for accumulation, when true abundance is actually the radiant field that expands as we live in alignment with our divine nature. And you introduce to us the love archetype, which is one of the 8 archetypes of your Voices of Gaia, who teaches us that seeking external things is actually a mirror for what we're seeking internally. So for those who haven't read your article yet, perhaps share a little bit more about the lover archetype.
So the beautiful thing about the lover archetype is that it's almost at the point where you are in love with your life. The 8th archetype, which comes right after this one. But this one is just like you really figure out how to fall in love. It takes a process of looking where you're reaching outside of yourself to find validation for your worth. And so that can come through accumulation of things, of beautiful things or expensive things or experiences. And there's not that there's anything wrong with that. As my gene key, my life work actually is one of the lover gifts, and it's called intoxication. And it's about divine intoxication, but at the gift level, it's called enrichment. And so it's actually the lover, I feel one of her gifts is learning to merge the spiritual with the physical. So the physical is just an expression of that spiritual beauty. It's like when you're with something, you're in a beautiful place, you're in a beautiful experience. It's not just about that. It's about what it connects, how it connects you to your divinity. And I think that often gets forgotten. And so you are left with the experience that kind of flat, right? It's just something you did, but there's no lasting like field of replenishment or joy or effervescent. I don't know why that word comes to me, but it's almost like you sparkle after you do it, right? Or after you exchange. And relationships can be the same way. You might say, oh, I have, 5,000 people who like my site or my Instagram account or whatever. But it's just a number. But if within those 5,000, there are 5 that you have truly connected with through your heart, that is a totally different enrichment, right? And that's where we find love, where we find that love.
Yeah, definitely. I feel that so much because all of the likes and views and whatever we have on Sovereign mean nothing to me. It doesn't light me up in any way. What lights me up is all of your stories, right? I get to connect with you and hear you, and all of our contributors are all around the world. And that's my currency, if you will. And I would love to connect on, we talked a little bit about this before we started recording. One of the most important topics that you talk about in your article is that oftentimes women associate wealth with perhaps beauty or achievements or anything like that. They associate money and all of those things with the love that they desire for themselves. And so they keep, and it's not just women, it can be men or other people who identify differently, but that you're actually craving love and safety within yourself and using these external things as benchmarks for trying to achieve what you need internally. So I would love for you to expand on how you help people recognize when they're using wealth or beauty or achievements as the substitute for love and safety.
I'm going to start with a story about myself when I was a teenager, because I really feel like a lot of it can start in your teenage years. And I have a beautiful older sister. She's beautiful inside and out. She's very beautiful. And I looked up to her. She's older than me. And I thought, well, if I can just be as beautiful as her, then I have value. That's just, you see the magazines, you see, oh, if I can be thin, if I can be this. And so I was anorexic and bulimic from the age of 16 till about 23. And so, well, the reason I share that is because there was an emptiness in me that never got filled. And so it was never enough. And I think when I sit with someone and I can see that what they're going through or going after is that empty cup, it's never going to get filled, because it's not about connection. It's about the doing. And you can never do enough if you don't have your heart in it, if you don't feel love. Nobody loved me anymore for that. It just became an obsession. And so when people become obsessed with things, which I have done throughout my life, because I didn't know how to fill my own cup. And so I help people to learn to fill their own cup by doing things that light them up, like not light anybody else up. I mean, if you like to show up and, wear sparkly jewelry and it just lights you up just because it lights you up, because you might have fairy realm in you, then do it. That's for you. So it's about learning to do things for yourself that nourish you energetically, physically, and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that I feel allows people to love themselves and to begin to love their lives deeply. And that's always been my thing, is like, I just want to love my life so deeply on this earth in this particular lifetime. And that comes with also having to experience discomfort. I don't want to discount that. Life is not just a bowl of cherries, right, all the time, but it's being able to nourish yourself through all of those emotions, through all of those connections, through loss, through grief, through joy, through celebration. It's all part of, and that's how you really love life deeply, is being with all of it and not focusing on, oh, if I weigh 125 pounds and my waist is this, or if my hair is this, or, that's like external. It's not going to fill not for very long anyway.
I'm having this reflection of, I almost got this like imagination. So for anyone who's unfamiliar, please go back and listen to Patricia's other episodes. She has this beautiful project called The Voices of Gaia, and it starts in our room with the white lioness, and there's a beautiful golden spiral that goes out with 8 archetypes. And so I had this vision of me going along the golden spiral, and that it started when I was 37 and I didn't know it. Okay. I didn't know that the big crescendo was coming at 40, because around 37-ish, I stopped dyeing my hair. I stopped wearing makeup because I didn't want to. It made my eyes always were allergic to no matter what kind I had on. They would burn all the time, all these things, right? And just one day, my daughter said to me, Mommy, why are you putting that stuff on your face? You look so pretty without it. And I was like, that's my clue right there, right? I don't want to do this anyway. I'm not going to do it. So I started unraveling the outside, if you will, because I was starting to do the work on the inside. And I'm not saying everybody doesn't have to wear makeup or stop dyeing their hair, but for me, it was the first step to claiming who I was. And boy, did I get so many comments, right? Your hair looks so old. You got gray hair. You look older than you're supposed to. All those things, right? I said, I don't care. I'm embracing. I love gray hair. I can't wait to be all gray. If I'm all gray by 40, I will be happy, right? Because I truly believe that. I think gray hair is beautiful. Anyway, now I'm realizing that it was the beginning of my capacity to hold more inner growth than I thought I was going to be able to or have to hold, because I had dealt with so much of the external world already. It allowed me to keep going even deeper and even deeper into my internal and really ask myself, what do I want? What makes me feel abundant? And I realized that spending time with my family was more important to me than making the large sums of money that I was making. And that's how Sovereign started to build, right? I unraveled my external identity in my late 30s, and by my early 40s, I left the industry and built Sovereign. And so I see this as a gift for people to recognize when they're moving throughout their day. Are they actually doing those things for themselves, or are they doing it for somebody else? Like I drive my daughter to school basically in like practically pajamas every day because that's what I love being in. And I could care less what people think of me. My daughter's like, oh my gosh, Mom, please. I'm so embarrassed. And I'm like, I'm going to be truly who I am. Like right now I have slippers on. I just don't even care because I'm going to show up exactly who I am. I'm on my period today. I'm not feeling the most prettiest and best. I'm supposed to be in winter, but I show up as I am and I'm okay with that. What the Feminine, a show designed to show the world how to have crucial conversations and still possess conscious choice, remain curious, and be considerate of others' opinions, beliefs, and ideologies. In every episode, we go where most avoid, navigating nuance, honoring differences, and embodying the healthy feminine and masculine as the gateway to global healing. This is not about sides. This is about sovereignty, and you're invited to witness it all. Watch the live recordings exclusively in Sovereign Community, where the conversation begins with you. Let's move into steps to your sovereign self. And so I would love for you to share how you can help women tap into this frequency of the lover and just love in general and gratitude, or not just women, but anybody who's listening. Because I think in our society that places so much value on the external, it's really hard to tap into it. So what's maybe one step that they could take today?
So a really good practice at the beginning of the day to tune into your womb. I know that sounds very simple, or maybe not significant, but asking her what it is that she needs today. And it's usually not going to be a lot of external things in the sense of achieving. It's usually around nourishment, replenishment, rejuvenation, creation. And one of the ways that I have always been able, and people that I work with tend to be highly creative. We all are creative, but some of us like to do it a little bit more than others, is through creation, through using our hands. So preparing food with love, painting, drawing, singing, dancing, just like that sort of feminine energy. And even if you're a man or however you identify with, it's a frequency of energy that is replenishing. I think that's the good way to begin, to tune in to that softness of the feminine energy of love. And the feminine generally feeds others through loving herself. And I'm wanting to bring in the masculine. The masculine will provide for you the shelters and the containers that you need to hold that love. So you have to have both. You have to have structure and flow in your life. So the structure here that I'm talking about is creating the space for yourself to do these things. And the feminine comes forward and just is beautiful in her essence, right? Within this sacred structure that you've built for her to show up in. So that could be like 5 minutes alone with yourself, 10 minutes to journal, to draw, to paint, to dance, to sing, to connect with another beautiful human.
Yes, I love all of this so much. Okay, so if anybody has any questions for Patricia, she's in our community, community.sovereign-magazine.com. All her details are in the show notes, and she'll be back for some more next month. So definitely like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things so that you can get more of Patricia. Thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. I'll be back tomorrow with another soul-led entrepreneur here to help you step into your sovereign self. Subscribe to our magazine and podcast and join our global community for all the magic. Details to connect with today's guest or join the movement are in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. It helps us reach our goal of guiding 5 million women to self-sovereignty.